How's it going, guys? Welcome back or to the channel, and today I bring you guys another vlog with the TJ. I know it's been long awaited. A lot of you guys have been asking where's the TJ. I want to see more of the TJ. Well, here she is. So today we're going to be throwing on some more lights. If you guys didn't catch the video where I did the switch panel, which is in here, that is from Auxbeam, and I got sent that when I recently started working with Auxbeam, and I also got sent a few different lights. So today we're going to be putting on the lights. I've got some lights that are going to be going in the actual bumper in the rear, so I can show you those right here in a second. And I've also got some cubes that are going to be going here on the windshield that are going to be actually amber and white, so you can have both. They switch back and forth, so that's going to be nice because apparently the amber doesn't kill your night vision when you're out in the forest at night and you're on the trails, so you can still actually look out your window or look in the car and still see and not be blinded from the bright light outside. I've never actually tried it myself, so I'm super excited and just interested to try it out and see if it works and see if that does anything. But let's take a look at the lights they sent me and then let's throw them on. So for the rear, we've got our templates. They give us templates so that we can already just line them up and basically trace out where we need to cut, because these go right into the actual bumper and they look something like this. So you can see they sit pretty deep in the bumper. I don't really have to worry with my bumper. I think I have plenty of room that they're gonna fit right in there, so I'm not too worried about that. I just gotta actually cut out the space to make them fit and recess into the bumper, but they don't have much of a lip that sticks out once you actually get them in there, so that's pretty nice. That's probably maybe, I don't know, 3/16 I'd say. So now the next thing that we got to do is actually get the holes ready and line them up and trace them up. So we'll do that in a moment. And the other ones that I have that are the switchback cubes are these. These go amber and they go white. So that's why we've got 3 wires on the end. We've got our positive, negative, and our function wire, which is basically the amber. So we're gonna throw those together and test those out. And it does actually come with an entire switch and everything with a whole wiring harness. Both of them do, in case you don't have yourself a switch panel. But we already do have the switch panel from Auxbeam, and this thing is actually great. I'll show you this after we actually hook up the lights, but you can put this basically to any RGB color you want. You've got 8 gang switches. You can set them to stay on, you can set them to pulse, which means just turn on when you hold the button and they turn off as soon as you let go of the button. You can also set any light that's hooked up to this to strobe, and you can set the speed of the strobe. It's pretty cool. I'll show you that function at the end as well. The only other thing that you can also do with this is you can use it from your phone. You can actually access a Bluetooth app, change the colors, light up any of the buttons. You can use any of the buttons from your phone. You don't actually have to press them here. So say you're outside and you're winching or whatever you're doing, you may be recovering someone, you may be at the back, you may be getting recovered yourself, or whatever the case is, you can access the lights remotely as long as your vehicle has power on. So that's pretty cool too. So last thing is to actually go line these up and then we'll wire them in. And since we have that switch panel, I've got a panel under the hood where I can just wire positive and negative, and it already goes to that switch panel, and I don't have to play with any other wires, don't have to run anything through the firewall. That I love. So that's why I recommend that switch panel. It makes your life so much easier when adding new things like today. So let's go and let's throw these in there. All right, and we're gonna go into head cam mode just because it is a little bit easier for me to work. So we're gonna need to go measure out exactly where we're gonna place our lights. So let me grab my measuring tape if I can find it.
into it?
Yeah, the fucking bumper's jacked. So like I'm trying to figure out like what kind of an angle to put them on. Like I don't want to put them straight and then the lines of the bumper look like it's all fucking wonky. So like the Jeep is sitting straight, right? Like you can see by these lines here that I've put into the fenders, like it's sitting straight, like it's level. The suspension is level. The bumper's jacked just from going off-road and getting hit, right? So it is what it is. I think that my best option here is to follow the line of the bumper.
On top?
Yeah, because if I don't, then it's just gonna look weird. Like I can level them, I can put them square with the Jeep, but then it's gonna look funny with the bumper, I think. So I think this is my best option here. It doesn't look that bad. I might have to move that one in a little bit, but I think that's good. Like, let me measure it out again. So like this is 6 exactly, and this is 6.5. So that one has to come in a 1/2 inch. It's got to be about there. And if I follow the line, I think that's going to be about there. Does that look right? Yo, did you see my Instagram story?
The fire, yeah.
Yeah. So I'll post the picture. I mean, I'll post the clip for you guys right now so you can see. But like, bro, somebody's fucking living down here. They started a fire and their whole fucking house is on fire now. You guys are fucking nuts. I don't know, some homeless guys were like living there or something and their shit caught on fire.
Like a whole setup.
The second the guy started pouring water, shit just started blowing up. Even while I was there taking the video, something blew up and I started running. I'm like, I'm not dying today. I'm gonna take these out so I can punch my holes for the screws, and then I'll punch 4 corner holes. I'll drill the 4 corners and I'll cut the rest. Safety first. Right, well, that's loose. Now we got 1 cut left, but I'm already on my 2nd battery and I've got 3 out of 4 lines, 4 now. But yeah, I don't think I'll be able to cut that side without charging this up. So we'll see how much daylight we have left to get it done. We might have to cut the other one tomorrow, but worst comes to worst, I'll end up finishing it tomorrow. All right, and there's our first piece of bumper. Not too shabby. So now let's see if that light even lines up properly. Yeah, not bad. That one little scratch where I nicked it there with the grinder or the cutoff wheel, I can always spray over, so it's not a big deal. And yeah, I think that'll work pretty well. And it looks like the battery is still too warm, so I'm gonna have to let it cool off for a minute. Okay, let's hope we've got enough battery to cut it. I don't even think I'm gonna make the holes wider this time. And we're dead. It looks like we'll be coming back to this tomorrow because there's no point in me wiring up anything on that side until everything is done, because wiring takes literally 2 seconds and those front lights take 2 seconds to bolt up. So I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. And we're back. Okay, so now it is the next day, and what I want to do real quick before installing the lights is basically grab one of these lights, and I noticed that it also has 3 leads. So I kind of want to figure out exactly what all of these do, because these have a second function as well. So here I have a plug that I can throw into my cigarette lighter, and I've got a positive and a negative lead. So what I can do is throw the negative on and test each of the functions on this light. So like that, we get an amber line in the middle and the regular lights on the top and the bottom. And if I use the other wire, it doesn't seem to do anything. So what if I do them together? Doesn't seem to do anything different, to be honest with you. That's kind of strange. Maybe that's a function. Maybe I have to leave those in and tap it. There we go. Yep, so that just changes it through the functions. Okay, so I think I know how I'm gonna wire this up, and I'll show you guys when we get to the box, but first let's install them real quick. And I forgot to tell you guys, I already finished cutting that hole last night, and this one actually went a lot smoother, even though it does look a little bit off. It's because the lights aren't gonna sit perfectly straight anyway, but I already recoated the bumper so that there's no exposed metal anywhere. So this was the first one we did. It looks a little bit like Swiss cheese. Yeah, not too proud of that one. But here's the second one I did. Came out a lot better. So definitely happy with that. Yeah, I think that's pretty much where it's gonna sit. Jesus. I love that function. It just automatically stops as soon as it hits the end, so you don't really have to worry about overdoing it. Now it's actually in the hole. That actually looks not terrible. And like I said, I don't mind self-tappers because I can always replace one super easily, a lot easier than fiddling with nuts and bolts back there. So now let me see the angle. Like, yeah, it's not straight, but doesn't look that bad. Let's get the other one in there and see how they look. But the hole I cut actually doesn't fit the light. Yesterday I checked the Swiss cheese hole and it was great. And then I checked the other one today, not so great. It's like literally just a hair off. And I didn't bring my grinder with me or my cutoff wheels. And I need to basically just give it a little trim and I'll be able to stick it in there. So I think it is already getting dark again. but I think I have a minute. I'm gonna try to throw on the lights on the front real quick and see if we can get at least those on today. Well, I think I pretty much adjusted this one how I want it. I need to make that one match because that one's not perfect, but I am running out of daylight once again. So I think I'm gonna have to cut it short for you guys again today, and I'll continue tomorrow. But we should be able to finish the entire thing tomorrow. Should have been able to finish the entire thing in one shot, but I don't have anywhere to work indoors, and since I'm at work all day, I only have a few hours after work before it starts to get dark. So this is what it is. I've got them lined up how I want. That one sits a little crooked, but I think that's because that arm sits a little bit further out. You can see how it kind of bends off, but I'll fix that. For now, I think I'm just gonna wire them all up. These I don't have to extend very far. These I'll run right through here, right in there along the firewall. And these are a heat shrink and solder in one connector. So they have a solder piece in the middle that melts, and the rest is a heat shrink with a glue. So it seals really well. I've used these all around the Jeep for rock lights and for all kinds of different stuff, and they always work great. Haven't had any of them fail me yet. Sorry if it's a little hard to see, guys. I know that the GoPro doesn't do great at night, which is why I try not to tape stuff when it's dark, but I really wanted to get these done because the Jeep always fights me, and this time it was my fault. I didn't cut that hole properly, but still. Well, my camera battery died, but I got them installed and I got them all wired. So now, let me show you guys what I was talking about earlier with the switch panel. So how you can see now, I'll turn them off for a sec. You can see how I have them to stay on. But I can also have one momentary, so only when I press the button. What that does is it'll switch the mode of the actual light. So when we have the white lights, when I click that other one, we go amber, we go amber and white at the same time, white flashing or white strobe, amber strobe, white and amber strobe at the same time, and then again back to white, and then back to amber, and both. So if we do set it to its normal regular white, you can see it does cover a pretty good area. And if I set my cubes that I have on a 45-degree angle, they get the rest of the area pretty good. And then I have my light bar, which would cover the long distance shot, but we obviously can't really test that here right now, so I'm not even going to uncover it. But I kind of like the amber lights. Those are really nice because apparently they're not supposed to kill your night vision, so you're supposed to be able to see a lot better on the trail, but you still get a good amount of light, as you can see. And my headlights aren't on. That's just the cubes. Pretty sweet. And I believe that the rear lights are gonna have the same function. So let's go and let's come back tomorrow and install everything and finally get it all done. Well, day 3, and this time I'm back at home in my garage. I was working outside at my mom's house the other 2 days because it's nice out and I prefer working outside in the summer, but let's just get this thing done. So I got all my tools with me this time, and I think this side needs a little bit more of a trim, because you can see where the holes are in proportion to the hole there, and where these holes are in proportion to the hole here. These ones need a little bit more trimming, so we're gonna give that a quick trim, and hopefully, third time's the charm, day 3, we can get it all in. And, oh, hello. But yeah, let's get her done, let's get her wired up. And the last thing that I have to do after I wire up the back is tuck these wires in underneath this cowl here. So I'm basically gonna move this wire, put these in under there, and tidy all that up. Same thing on that side. So let's get her cut and let's get her in. There we go. And I think we've got the angle. Yeah, we can play with the angle just enough. So that's all we needed, guys. Perfect. And that's what it takes, is the right tool, because I didn't have the tool with me, and yeah, I tried bending it a little bit in, and trust me, the bumper is too thick. It's pretty damn hard to bend, even though it does bend when you go off-road. Actually, I think the brackets bend more than the actual bumper does when you're off-roading. That's why it's skewed, it's not straight. But regardless, let's give that a quick spray. And it doesn't take very long, maybe about 10 minutes for it to cure. So we can start wiring up one side while it cures, and then we'll bolt this guy in. So I actually just finished tucking these wires under both sides. You can see they're tucked in pretty damn well. And on this side as well, they tucked in really well. So we've got all that cleaned up. I've already got my length of wire that I'm gonna need. The first one pre-cut. So I attached it back here, and I'm gonna run it along the frame all the way up. Sorry for all that noise. There is people coming home from work, but I'm gonna run it all the way through and then up inside the fender here, and then connect it to my fuse box. I know it looks like a bird's nest right now. I will be taking care of that. First, let's throw that light in, because the paint should be dry by now. I think they're pretty good, to be honest with you. They look like they match. It's hard for me to tell because I can't stand far back enough here. But worst case, they're self-tappers. I can always adjust it. But for me, I think they look good from where I am. Now remember, we're not going perfectly level. We're following the angle of the bumper, and the angle of the bumper is slightly off. So I think we're okay. I'm gonna throw the other 2 screws in and let's wire them up. I forgot my actual wire strippers again. So I'm using this little shit that came in the Amazon thing. It actually works pretty good, but it's not like a real wire strippers, I'll tell you that. Should probably put these on now, so I'm not gonna be threading them through the entire length of cable over there. And I absolutely love these because connecting wires is as easy as stripping the ends, slipping one of these on, and melting it in, because it's got solder built right in. So it saves you tons of time and seals it up real nice. I actually used to sit here and solder all my connections with a piece of solder and a torch, and that works great, but it takes forever, and especially when you're in tight spaces, these are so nice. Now I've already got these connected. I'm gonna heat these up and seal these ones, and then I'll go and connect everything up. Well, actually I'll run them down the frame first, make sure that everything fits properly and snugly, and then we'll connect it into the fuse panel, or into the fuse box for the switch panel, and we'll be all set to go. I'm excited to see what functions these have, because I think they're gonna have the same functions as the ones on the front. And you can see now that it cooled off a bit, this is the piece that I took off. Literally, this is how much I needed. A sliver, just a sliver was stopping us from getting that light in yesterday. But that's okay, we got her done. If you guys are wondering why I don't work in the garage in the summertime, it is crazy hot down here. There is no airflow. Like, just check out how much I was sweating. Yeah, it's kind of nuts down here. But if you guys were wondering, this is where the wires will actually come through if you feed them through the bottom of the fender here all the way back up. And now I'm going to cut them to size, attach them to the fuse panel, and last thing to do is just change the buttons on the actual switch panel inside the Jeep there, and we're ready to go. So let's do that, and finally we'll be done. I know it seems like this has been taking me a while, but really I've been working like 1 hour each day, so even though it's taken me like 3 days to get to this point, it's really not that long of a job. If I had all the stuff in front of me and I did it all in one shot and I had the light, it would probably take me 2.5 hours to do this whole job. I got tired of playing around and I went and got the actual wire strippers so that I didn't have to suffer any longer. But I know that you guys are wondering, why is this guy's Jeep so dirty? Mike, why don't you wash your Jeep? And well, it's pretty simple. I only use it for off-roading. It's gonna go back off-road. To be honest, I usually wash it, but I was repairing it, and then once I finished repairing it, I just kind of didn't wash it, and usually I do, so yeah. But this thing literally only goes off-road, so if you guys want to see it go off-road, definitely check out my next videos, because this thing is going back off-road real soon. But right now, we're on the home stretch, so now let's connect these two, which are going to be our trigger wires, if I'm correct. And yes, I will be cleaning up this bird's nest, but for now I just want to get these connected to see if they work, and then we can tidy up all these wires. So this is the panel that you get underneath the hood when you get your aux beam switch panel. And everything is fused, everything has a relay, and it's coated in a nice rubber, so you don't have to worry about anything kind of getting wet or anything like that. Obviously these will corrode if they get wet, but the actual panel will stay good. So now I'm going to connect my trigger wires, and since I already have the negative on this end for positive and negative, I don't need a negative for the trigger wire. So you can see I've got the same thing going on here and here, because these are both trigger wires. So now these can go in right there. And there we have our trigger wire attached. Now we just need to do the positive and negative. So there's positive. Now we'll throw the negative in and we'll go test everything, because finally everything will be wired. So for now, I'm gonna leave this as it is. Everything's tucked away. I do need to better manage these cables so I don't have a bird's nest over here, but we will take care of that after everything is hooked up. That's something that I don't have to do on camera because that's not really interesting. And there we have it. They work. Now they do have all the different functions, and I did throw the different functions onto the different buttons here. So this one's a function button, And this one's a function button for the back. So they do all the exact same functions as the ones on the front, and they do give you a pretty decently wide pattern. You can see there. So not bad at all. These will be great for doing recoveries, for reversing when we're out on the trail, and just for generally seeing what's out on the trail. So I'm super happy. I'm also stoked that they have the multifunction. I wasn't actually sure that they would or not, and that's an awesome feature. So now the last thing is to throw on the correct stickers onto these buttons here. So I think what we are going to do is take off this one. We'll put that one there for now, because the function buttons, I don't have one that has a button that says function, so I don't mind leaving them blank. For the rear, I think we're going to use backup. That should be a good one. So we'll stick that right there actually. And for the front, I think we'll use windshield lights. Well, I think that's about gonna cover it after 3 not so long days, pretty decently short days actually. Like I said, if I wasn't working full time, I would have got this done a lot quicker, but gotta pay the bills, unfortunately. So that's pretty much it for today's mods. And if you want to see me get this thing even dirtier this weekend, then definitely jump down there, hit that subscribe button, because there's tons more footage coming your way. Not too sure where we're going yet, but I will give you guys an update as soon as I know. And yes, I know, lights before lockers. However, I didn't pay for these lights. I was sponsored by Oxbeam. So if you guys do want to go and head over to Oxbeam and grab yourself something, use Smokin Monkey as a discount code and you will get yourselves 12% off. I know it's not a crazy discount, but it is a start. We are working to get you guys more discounts. So as the channel grows and as the community grows, we will bring you guys better and stronger deals. So for now, we get you guys 12% off at Oxbeam. So jump onto their website. I will put their website in the description, as well as the discount code. The discount code is good for an entire year from back in June. So I think it's still good for until next June. So jump on there, definitely grab yourself something, because they've got tons of awesome products, from the switch panel in there, the lights, and yeah, like I said, I know lights before lockers, but we've got lockers in this guy right here, and we're definitely going to be taking that off-road soon. But for now, the TJ does pretty good, and I know a lot of people that have lockers in their Dana 30s and Dana 35s, and they go through shafts like crazy. And I'm not about to go buying new shafts for this thing. I would rather upgrade the axles and get a slip yoke eliminator and just totally revamp everything and make it that much better. But I don't think that getting a lunchbox locker right now is money or time well spent, because like I said, those axles aren't the strongest and they're not going to hold up to that much abuse. So hang in there. And if you guys want to see that, like I said, jump down there, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, because it helps out the channel a ton. And hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. So until then guys, ride safe out there. Peace.